Derivatives. You know, the word itself just sounds kind of complicated, right? Like something you'd only hear being yelled across a crazy Wall Street trading floor. But what if I told you the whole idea starts somewhere much simpler, like on a farm? Let's unravel this thing and figure out what a super fancy financial contract has to do with a simple bag of beans.
Okay, so let's paint a picture. You've got a farmer who spent a whole season growing an amazing crop of beans. Naturally, they want to sell them for the best price possible. Then, you've got a chili producer. They need those exact beans to make their famous sauce, and they really don't want the cost to suddenly shoot through the roof. It seems simple, but both of them are actually staring down a huge invisible problem.
And here's the big problem they both share: uncertainty. The price of beans goes up, it goes down. It's all over the place. The farmer's terrified the price will crash right when it's harvest time, which would just wipe out all their hard work. And the chili producer, they're worried the price will spike right when they need to buy, which could cripple their business. So the million-dollar question is, how do they protect themselves? How can they possibly lock in a fair price today for beans they won't even be trading for months?
Well, what if they could basically invent a time machine, but just for prices? Imagine if they could just reach into the future, agree on a price right now, shake on it, and lock it in for good. That's it. That's the elegant solution to their whole problem. And that little piece of financial magic? It's called a derivative. So, if we strip away all the jargon, a derivative is really just a contract. That's it. It's an agreement that pretty much says, hey, let's decide today on the price we're going to use for these beans in 3 months. The whole point is to take all the guesswork out of the equation. It lets our farmer and our chili producer both sleep easy at night, because they know they're protected from any wild price swings.
Okay, so now we get what a derivative is. The next big question is, why do people use them? And it turns out there are two totally different reasons, which brings us to a perfect way to think about them. Are they a safety helmet or are they a roller coaster?
And yeah, these two uses could not be more different. On one hand, you've got hedging. This is our farmer's move, right? They're using the contract to lower their risk. It's a defensive play. It's like putting on a helmet for financial safety. But on the other hand, you've got speculation. Now, this is somebody who isn't growing or buying any beans at all. They're just placing a bet on which way the price is going to go, hoping to make a quick profit. That's the financial equivalent of strapping into a roller coaster just for the throw.
Now, just like there's more than one thing on a menu, there's more than one type of derivative. They come in a few different flavors, and each one is designed for a slightly different thing.
Let's just run through the most common ones real quick. First up, you have futures. Think of this as a firm handshake deal. It's a solid commitment to buy or sell at a fixed price on a set date. Simple. Then you've got options. This is more like reserving a VIP seat at a festival. It gives you the right to buy or sell, but you don't have to. You have the choice, the option. And finally, swaps. These get a little more complex, but imagine two people just agreeing to swap different kinds of payments or assets down the road.
Okay. We've talked about farmers and safety, and it's all been pretty straightforward. But now it's time for a little reality check. Because for all their usefulness, derivatives come with a very loud, very clear warning. But beware, they can be a wild ride.
Seriously, this is not a financial tool you just jump into lightly. So here are 3 absolutely essential pieces of advice. First, buckle up. You've got to understand the risks you're taking on. Second, do your homework. These things require some real financial know-how. And finally, a big word of caution. Maybe, just maybe, leave the wild speculation, that roller coaster we talked about, to the professionals who do this stuff for a living.
Which brings us to the big question at the end of all this. We've seen how a derivative can be an amazing tool for a farmer just trying to manage risk, but we've also seen how it could be a super high-stakes roller coaster for a speculator just chasing profit. So which is it? A helpful tool or a high-stakes gamble? Well, the answer seems to be, it really all depends on who's in the driver's seat and why they decided to take the ride in the first place.